something, and to be honest, inside my head, I was thinking, don't quickly say yes yet, just think about it first. Since I was actually planning to go to New York during this time, I really don't like speaking in front of big groups of people. I get really nervous, if you can sense that. My words start to jumble, and I might say stuff that might only make sense to myself. But anyway, the words suddenly, sure I can do it, slipped right out, and there's no way to get at it now. And I'm really glad I didn't pass out on sharing tonight, because I might have been stuck in New York right now. And during the Hurricane Sandy, so at this moment, so God is really good, and He has been throughout my whole life, and I'm actually quite happy you asked Pastor Paul to ask me to share so I could reflect deeply what has happened throughout my past 4 years, as well as just throughout this last year. And I've been praying a lot and reflecting a lot these past few days, asking God if there's something that He really wants me to share. And so I thought about what has happened in my life in the past 4 years, and also how my life has been different from this time in my life, October 30th, 2012, and last October. And as many of you know, I've just graduated from SFU in health sciences, and many people always ask me, oh, you're going to study to be a doctor, or you must be a dietitian. But no, it's actually about studying the disease of infectious diseases, so different diseases and the spread of it to different populations, and how to stop that, as well as focusing on people's overall health in order to improve everyone's life expectancy so we can live longer. But anyway, God has taken me through this journey of just completing this degree, and I have had many encounters with Him during this time. So for the first two years of studying at SFU, I didn't really know how to study properly. I'm sure you guys have studied something in your life, like you guys have done some kind of education, I hope. And I always just studied, I would just read the lecture notes over, and my mom knows this, she has this face on her right now, but I would just read my lecture slides over twice, and hopefully that would just get into my head, and I'd be able to pass my exam or just do well. I just thought that my memorization skills were good since I was a kid, so that's how I might have studied in university. And for an example, in Awana, when we were younger, I would just read verses twice over and just easily recite what I knew. And so there's a definite struggle just trying to feel prepared for my midterms and my final exams. And I would leave it usually 1 or 2 days before a final or a midterm, which is terrible. But you guys are all done school, so it's okay. But I would always pray and ask God, please just give me peace and wisdom. I'm really nervous, and I don't think I'll really pass. I don't know if I studied enough. And just give me good short-term memory so I can get through this. And this really worried my parents because of my studying habits. And they wish that I would use my time better, maybe just not leave it till last minute and just use my time more wisely. But somehow, even though I didn't study enough, or I felt like I didn't, I would still end up with at least a B or a B+, which in university terms is fairly good, I think. But I always knew that it was actually God who helped me pull through studying in school, and because there's no way I could have pulled off a B, I would always walk out of an exam and feel like, wow, I don't even know if I passed, it's terrible. And it wasn't until after going away in my 3rd year on exchange to Hong Kong where I learned how to study, because I was forced to study, basically. Even though I only needed to pass my grades, going there to do an exchange program, but everyone there just studied, that's all they did, and they were really good at memorization, so I picked up a few things. And so my final year at SFU, I found it fairly easy, and I changed my studying habits, and I didn't need to pray to ask God to help me pass. Instead, I just needed Him to give me peace to get through it, and that I just remembered that I was doing it for God and not for myself or for my parents, and it just helped me get through all those years of schooling. And so also during the past 4 years, I've seen and heard many young adults leaving church or church hopping because of this interest or being pulled away into worldly things. And this really saddened me, just seeing my own friends turn away from God. And I know that this is something that I didn't want to happen in my own life. And at the same time, I also felt that during my university years, I gave many excuses of I'm too tired, or I can't, I'm too tired to go to church, to fellowship, or just to do devotions. And I just wish that I had used my time better during that time as a student and prioritize what's more important in my life. Thinking back a year today, so I'm not sure exactly the time. Sorry, I'm like jumping around. I hope you guys get it. Okay.
That's fine.
I was attending Coastal Church that's with my sister, and the reason for this is because I wanted to spend more time with her. And since I'm not really close with her, so and also I just came back from Hong Kong, so I was a little bit nervous about coming back, since before Hong Kong I went to Wellington, but I would come back a few times. You guys would kind of see me around. But one time but anyway, so at Coastal Church, I just went there for church, and you don't really know anyone, and you don't have a community, a fellowship, and people. You just feel like you just go in there and get out, and I enjoyed like sitting and eating, having